Warning. The following is a live work of fiction for the purpose of entertainment. Actions of characters do not represent the actors who portray them. Gravehaven occurs in a southern Gothic horror setting and may contain graphic depictions of violence, death, and more. Due to the nature of roleplay, other themes of mature content may occur without warning. Viewer discretion is advised.
Bright light in the dark. Now you're nothing but a spark. No, hear the call. No, ravens say. No, they will guide you on the way. No, you will find yourselves astray from the water's light. No, heed the ravens call, or the guard will roll. No. No. No.
Last time we left off, Isidora, Wythe, trekking through the fields of the Obsidian Vale, you stopped in a quaint little village known as Harvenrest. There, you met quite a few interesting folk as they welcome you into town. They were quite approving of you wanting to go to church, as Preacher Harcourt, the preacher of the town, spoke with you both and was thrilled to have you go to church. Reverend Varkan, earlier in that day, you stopped by Harvenrest, making your rounds as you always do throughout all the rural areas. And stumbling upon, once again, the massive cornucopia that rests in the middle of Harvenrest. Speaking with Preacher Harcourt, at his church, you had a little bit of a preacher off between the two of you, as he was fortunate for you to get into town and try to convert you to the ways of his god, Chief Ali, the Dusk Warden, or no, the Dusk Walker. You stumbled upon your acquaintance Ren, a Kinku who owns an apothecary. Ren is your friend who is very against the new regime that is being instructed by the Archdiocese of Cressedia to hand out like laws to illegalize certain herbs and druidic magics. Sabriel, as you made your way underground through Whistler's investigations of an underground system, the maps are incomplete. They're even at times inconsistent. He had only been working on them for a few months, and going underground, it is very hard to navigate, as well as it is highly dangerous to go through these tunnels. But as you do, you stumbled upon a dungeon of sorts, and inside you found some druids who you rescued, and they told you that it wasn't the Dusk Crest or the city guard of Cressedia that threw them in here. It was Preacher Harcourt himself. And as you made your way up through this dungeon, you made it to the surface of Harvenrest, where you instructed these druids to stay behind while you dealt with the preacher yourself. As we're all gathering here, 200 people around this cornucopia, Preacher Harcourt is on stage with Sabriel, Reverend Varkan, as Sabriel has made quite the introduction to this town, as he has asked for a conversation in trying to figure out what exactly it is Preacher Harcourt is doing with druids in his basement. Wythe and Isidora, it's a fun little church gathering that you're having. Being new to the area, you were not quite sure what the laws were or the certain practices, but as you're watching the sermon that Preacher Harcourt is giving, Isidora, you feel a sense coming from within the cornucopia, and Wythe, not wanting to let her friend go, cast invisibility on Isidora to be safe. Isidora, invisible, you made your way into this cornucopia, and fumbling through the gourds, fumbling through the various offerings that these townspeople have put inside this cornucopia, you stumbled upon something that had been woven inside of this cornucopia. Sudden realization that this is a person, a living, breathing person that has been hand-stitched and hand-woven into this cornucopia. Isidora, making that realization, you started clawing, using savagery to get them out. And as Wythe, you were waiting for your friend to come back, Sabriel, you are watching the souls of your lantern circle menacingly around Preacher Harcourt, and Reverend Varkan, speaking with the Dusk Crest to have some sort of agreement or something that you're able to persuade with them. None of you are quite aware of the flame that has begun. A flame that started on the cornucopia. I need you all to roll initiative. Minus Whistler, as you are not here yet.
Would you like us to roll initiative in Roll20? Because
No.
there's a way to track initiative there, which is why I was asking.
No, no.
Okay, cool.
No. I'll keep track of all of that. We're only going to be using Roll20 as a visual aid.
Sweet.
So you can still roll in D&D Beyond or manually.
Sidney off to a great start.
Do we know who we're
Let's
fighting?
go.
We're not fighting yet. This is a time initiative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just in case, like, for we're not in
Combat yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. We could also not have combat. Depends on what you do.
Oh, wow,
This is more just to figure out who's doing what in what order.
Yes.
That's really good. That's a nat 19 on the dice, so that's a 23.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
I got a nat 16 on the dice, which gives me a 17.
Okay. Let me go here and let
Queen
me
10.
grab here and let me grab here. Alrighty. Okay. 20 to 25.
Right here.
Okay, so that is
Dusty.
Excuse me.
Sabriel. All right. 15 to 20.
That's me. I have a 17.
Work on. Okay. 10 to 15.
10.
10. All right. Izzy. And Wythe. 4. Okay. All right. No worries. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. And let me roll for...
The
Okay.
tiniest violin. That's it, me.
All right. So, Sabriel, it is your turn.
So I'm still talking
yeah.
to the crowd, right?
Yes, you're still talking to the crowd. The Dusk Crest are there. There are 2 Dusk Crests that are near the stage.
The 2 guards, right?
Yes, the two guards. A guard has put themselves in between you and Reverend Varkan.
Okay. So I'm not gonna reach for my weapon, or I'm not gonna like draw my or like use my staff as a weapon or anything. Instead, I'm just gonna like his face. Also, just real quick, the reason I sound like this and won't be doing my character's voice is because I had surgery this morning, and that's the reason I don't have my picture up. So I'm just letting you guys in the audience know that I'm not talking like this on purpose. This is just how I sound right now. Okay, so Sabriel is going to, like, you're just going to see kindness in his eyes. He's going to put his hand on this guard and look him like dead in the eyes and just go, "My friend, the one behind you does not serve your God. And by protecting him, you may be disgracing yourself in the eyes of your God. I have no intention of harming you or any of the people in this town. I mean to protect souls, not take them."
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, that's not great. That's a 12.
12.
Or 11, sorry.
11.
Yeah.
You watch this Dusk Crest guard, and you see that as you put your hand on their shoulder,
Gently, I might add.
Gently, okay,
Gently.
that's fine. They have a mantle kind of on, and similar to all Dusk Crest, you know that is a Dusk Crest guard, as their kind of like their pauldrons go in a crescent shape up, like the moon. So they have like this moon, kind of like moon spikes, and they are wearing dark armor with like a purple sheen, with gold inlay in certain areas within their like torso, and then they of course have very like intricate moon carvings within their armor. On their side, Sabriel, you recognize they have a sickle, which is the kind of the Dusk Crest or Crusadeian armor or weapon of choice. So they have like a moon sickle.
Is it? They're the wait, hold up. The weapon of their god is a freaking sickle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Yes. Okay, cool.
Yes. So it is it's a very small like sickle with this.
That's gonna work out really well for me in a second.
Just letting you know so you're aware that is kind of what they have.
So
on
happy with what you're saying right now.
Yes.
Cool.
I know.
All right.
So as you speak with this Dusk Crest individual, well, if there is to be bloodshed, I hope that it does not come to that.
I have no plans to harm even a single soul, even the preacher there. I simply want him to atone for the things that he has done. But I have no intention of harming anyone, as, and he points to the souls behind him, tormented souls that die are doomed to follow me until their unfinished business is completed. And I can only rest when there are no souls following me. I do not wish to add any more.
This guard looks into your eyes, Sabriel.
Well, where my eyes potentially would be behind my mask.
Yes. So they kind of are just like, if I find the center, looking kind of like the center of your mask up. Well, under the law of Crusadia, it's quite apparent that an investigation should occur. If what you're saying is true, and Preacher Harcourt is withholding able bodies from Crusadia, then we will have to deal with that.
And Finn, do I know if Crusadia has the thing with druids? Like they don't like druids, or...
Make a history check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, another 4. That's not great. History. That's only a 5.
Can I be giving Sabriel like this hand gesture, like, just over the guard shoulder, just like,
But Reverend Varkan wouldn't know about the druids.
Yes, they do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't know.
I passed that history check last session.
Oh no, I mean you don't know about the druids I found in the basement.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Yes. So Reverend Varkan is aware of the law. Sabriel is aware there are druids being held within.
And neither one of us have had a conversation with each other before Sabriel did what Sabriel does.
Yeah.
And just, bulldoze his way onto the stage. So
can I make a perception check to see if I see the look that Reverend Varkan's giving me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
With advantage.
All right.
Since I feel like between you, Whistler, and Reverend Varkan,
Okay, that was very good.
over the time that you've
That's it.
spent, you know the look that Reverend Varkan.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so he sees that look and looks back to the guard and be like, would you mind and he's gonna close the lantern as he says that to make the ghosts go away, like visually go away. They're still there, but like visually. Would you mind keeping an eye on the preacher so that he does not try to leave? I must have a word with my comrade here.
You see over you sense over Reverend Varkan is just kind of standing there awaiting you, as Preacher Harcourt is, as the ghost disappear, he's still kind of in this state of panic a bit. For the entire congregation to see, as you've done this in front of almost the entire town.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll step down off the stage, and you just hear this loud clanking of steel armor as he does, and he walks up to Reverend Varkan.
What are you doing?
As usual, trying to help.
Who exactly is it that you're trying to help?
And he kind of eyes over to the double doors that he came out of with the druids in it. He's like, there are a group of druids kept in cages, malnourished and hurt.
The moment Sabriel says that, like, Reverend Varkan kind of like tosses a look over their shoulder at the guard that's standing behind them. Does he seem to be listening to us?
He's so. I will say I am trying to be quiet. I know it sounds like
yeah. Go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Both of us, or just Sabriel?
If you are trying to be stealthy of this conversation, probably both of you.
Out of curiosity, I have disadvantage on stealth because of my heavy armor, but I'm not technically moving.
And with how many people there are, that
fair.
would just be a straight roll.
Okay, straight roll.
Because there's a crowd
murmuring. They're being loud.
Yeah. It's a 13 for me.
Okay, so 13? That is a 19 for me.
Okay.
Okay. Using the red dice, not the black and purple dice. That seems to be working.
Reverend Varkan, as you kind of sense over, you can hear the mantle shift, and you hear the sounds of the Dusk Crest guard walking towards Reverend Varkan, or Preacher Harcourt, and they're having kind of a conversation between each other that you can understand. The Dusk Crest individual, their boots hit the wooden stage as they kind of help Preacher Harcourt stand, and shakily, Preacher Harcourt, you hear, well, that was a quite an eventful evening. Dusk Crest guard says. Druids. Where? And you kind of sense Preacher Harcourt just, well, I've been meaning to get them to Crusadia for a time. I haven't been able to make it in a while. We can discuss it later. That is the sense that you get, and what you can hear and feel for the both of you, since you both have blind sense and tremor sense within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're in trouble, and so are your friends. You've kind of blown this a little bit, Sabriel.
Not yet. There are very few guards.
But there are a lot of people, and they will rush to the defense of their preacher if we're not careful.
I could ask for a little help from my friends.
You're gonna need it. I'll see what I can do to distract them, but you should try to get them out of here.
I may be a little hard to miss in a crowd.
I wish Whistler were here.
I do as well. He's the one who sent me on this quest. I assume that he might not be far behind. However, I don't think we can count on him at the exact moment.
Well then... Damn it.
There's a way out, past the cages. If you lead them through, maybe, just maybe, I can convince the guards and the people of the town that they were not druids in those cages, and something else entirely.
You do what you have to do.
I'll distract the guards, if you can sneak those poor folks out the back.
At this point, can we smell the fire by any chance?
I was just about to say, make a perception check.
Okay.
Wythe. Izzy's been gone for a bit. Couple minutes. But I mean, they're invisible, so maybe, you know, they've been back. You're not sure. Wythe, what would you like to do?
At this point in time, I would like to use my eerie token.
Okay.
So what Isidora doesn't know is that every single day ever since they've been traveling together, Wythe has been making them an eerie token every day with a lock of her own hair in the form of a friendship bracelet. Just in case anything happened to Isidora. Just hasn't mentioned it. So I'm going to use the eerie token to remotely view Isidora where they are. So basically I enter a trance as an action and it lasts for 1 minute. But I am incapacitated in this time. But I can see and hear from where the token is as if I'm there. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I got a 16 on my perception check.
Okay. Reverend Varkan. You smell faint burning, almost as if it's, you know, burnt grass. And Wythe, you feel the almost interesting. It's a sense of running water, a sense of herbs that you felt in your hands before, and as if you feel it in your claws a bit, almost as if they've touched dirt, and then you kind of feel that fade away towards cornucopia. And you get the sense of the dirt, the herbs, that Izzy is still inside cornucopia.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Wait, you said you can hear it, right? It's like a mic in the room.
Yeah, I can see and hear what's going on as if I'm right next to Isidora.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
then yeah, I
Yeah.
think the only other thing you hear is, I think I said like, I'm gonna get you out of here. And that's
Okay.
it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you pick that up, and you know that it is Izzy,
Mhm.
just because of with your token is tied to an individual, and you know who that individual is by kind of what their aura is of sorts. Thus the dirt and the herbs for Izzy.
Okay. So I know that Izzy is still inside the cornucopia, and I know
Yep.
that there is someone else in there that they need to get out. At this point in time, do I from the eerie token, do I know there's a fire?
What is is there a radius to it of what you can sense?
I basically can sense everything that Isidora does.
You, with that,
Mm-hmm.
Izzy, make a perception check.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. Then yes, you both now. It's for Wythe. It's like quickened heartbeats, and you both sense at the same time warmth coming from within the cornucopia, as a soft like glow has started, which gives Izzy, as you kind of are really getting in there, you can quickly just look up, and on where the flames have begun and this light sparks, you can see the dangling of feet
Inside.
of like that is like on top and around.
I'm gonna... Okay, just so I'm clear, I'm standing in front of this woven in person.
Yeah.
And I see in front of this a flame, and above that flame, feet.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so you're on like the wall of the cornucopia.
Okay.
And then this flame is deeper within. And as that sparks, you see this like the dangling feet deeper on the sides.
I see. Okay. That's frustrating. I think, okay. I understand that this is a somewhat discreet operation, but I'm ready to blow this up. So...
the person that is just you have gotten their mouth like free.
Okay.
Help.
Yeah, no, we're gonna, first, I don't 100% know, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get you out of here.
You see now, she's very young, drow, lavender skin, kind of like darker, longer hair. But she looks about like 15 or 16.
Okay, I'm gonna, well, because I still look like a drow, so I'll
Yeah.
keep that. But I will. What's your name?
M.
M. Okay, good. Nice to meet you, M. I'm sorry you're in a terrible situation. We're gonna get you out as soon as possible. Do you know anything about them? And she points to the people above.
Yeah, as you point, she kind of looks. Yeah. They trapped us in here, and they just kind of use druidic magics against us to keep us in. You see now, as you are like getting her undone, she has manacles on her hands of this iron. Well, iron-like substance.
What are the chances that I have a very helpful key on me?
Roll. Oh, what would this be? Just roll a history check with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can work with that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good with advantage. Not better. Cool. It's 2 natural ones.
Okay.
It's what I deserve. It's good. I will. Okay. I don't have anything for this yet.
You get the sense that all of your keys from your family are within the pack that you left on your horse.
Shit. Okay. I'm gonna get you out of here. Do you have any? If I get you out, can you sort of turn into an animal?
And like she like lifts her hands. I could, but I can't with these.
I see. Okay.
And she kind of leans up. She's like, "There's more. There's more of us. Under the church. There's more. My sister's there.
Under the church. Your sister. Okay. What's your sister's name?
Threyanna.
Okay. M and Thray. We'll get to that. Right now, we want to get you out because the flame's getting a little intense. I'm going to try to. Oh, I don't have any spells that are subtle and helpful.
Just saying from my side.
We might be past
on
subtle.
The worst side. Yeah, subtle might be on
Yeah.
the bad side of things.
Okay, well then she's gonna go with what she feels. I think, if possible, she's going to use her scimitar, I believe, to just start going buck wild on the side of the cornucopia.
Got it. Okay. Go ahead and
Actually,
roll. Oh,
if the flame in front of me that I see, no, because there's people still in it, I can't light the cornucopia on fire. She's just gonna start destroying it.
destroying the fire. Or the
Kill the fire first and the
Okay.
cornucopia.
Okay.
Not being quiet anymore.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack with your.
Was on 4.
Okay.
I gotta go get my dice.
So as you begin to kind of hack into this, it's not it gives you some pullback. Odd. It's hardier than you thought it would be. For trying to get the flame out. You dull it down and then you begin to hack again. And it starts again.
Okay, then if possible, I devote my time to getting people out.
Okay. So as you are, she's freer now. As you kind of help her get down, she was kind of way up there. Reverend Varkan, Sabriel, that flame that you were sensing dulls.
I got a nat 20 on perception, by the way.
Okay. So
that's a 22.
Great. So Sabriel, you're aware that the flame is coming from within the cornucopia.
Out of curiosity, could I sense that there are like that there is a person inside or any activity inside, like things moving around?
As you hone in on that, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You sense, because with your tremor sense, it's anything within on the ground. So you feel two individuals.
Part of my class as well is that like my ghosts kind of like keep an eye on things just so I don't die.
Okay.
So if it's okay, I'm just I'll play it as though a ghost comes and like whispers in my ear.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
So
you hear, you see this individual kind of appear, whisper. Interesting. No.
What is
fire. The fires. So
I smell it.
There are more in there.
What do you mean more? Like in mid conversation, he stops talking to Reverend Varkan and is talking to this ghost. What do you mean there are more?
There are more druids inside.
And right when he says that, you just see Sabriel turn and full on start sprinting towards the cornucopia. Like
okay.
No explanation, just full tilt sprint.
Okay. So Sabriel, you kind of are moving towards the cornucopia. Reverend Varkan, what are you doing?
I am going to assume that he is leaving me here with this rowdy bunch of ne'er-do-wells for a good reason. I am going to step forward towards the preacher and the Dusk Crest guard.
Okay. Oh well, this is your doing, isn't it? This is what you wanted?
I think you've misunderstood why it is that I'm here. I came simply to observe and to do my rounds as I am required to do by the Archdiocese. If you're not doing anything wrong, then why are you worried that I have interfered in some way?
Well, that boy of yours.
Sabriel is his own person. I do not control what he does. I am not his parent nor his babysitter.
Yeah, but don't he work for you?
They work for the Death Warden. There's a difference. Nobody works for me.
The Dusk Crest guard looks towards you. Just kind of gives an odd aside. Now the two Dusk guards are together with the Reverend. Well, it looks like your boy is gonna get me into some interesting investigations, I suppose, down in Crusadia. So
I don't understand why it is you feel that you're allowed to call that full-grown man over there a boy.
Well,
also, does he see me like take off toward the cornucopia?
Oh yes. No, the Dusk Crest are watching that happen. Reverend, not Preacher Harcourt. Preacher Harcourt, well, if he's going to act like a child, I will treat him as such.
I think the only person being childish here is you. And I think it's because you know you got caught red-handed doing something you should not be doing.
Well, and you see a hand go on the Reverend's shoulders, a green, beefy hand. He says, well, Lucian, what have you gotten into here? What is going on? As a half-orc appears. He says, well, you got all my people worked up, and you're gonna have to go on stage right now, get everybody to pack their things, get out of here, because I don't want a mob on my hands. You see Preacher Harcourt looks over at this individual. So, well, all right. Looks over to Varkan. I'm sure your Death Warden will be happy with you one day. And even times be upon you as he walks on stage back. This new individual, well, who you do know, Reverend Varkan, is Mayor Renwick Linwood. Mayor Linwood. Reverend, I didn't know you would be in town. I mean, it's good to see you, but what is a predicament that we have ourselves here for?
I do believe there's been some sort of kerfuffle with regards to this cornucopia practice that you have in relation to certain forms of magic that have been rendered illegal here in Crusadia. And your preacher acting in a manner that makes it seem as though he thinks he is above the law.
Well, he looks over to you, and he looks over to the Dusk Crest. Well, I won't have it. Oh, not in my town. I mean, if what you say is true, then I want an investigation on my preacher. And you see Dusk Crest kind of look over. The Archdiocese is will want to have an investigation on any priest within. That includes Harcourt. But Mayor Linwood, if you yourself wish to have this investigation, then we can take him to Crusadia, where he can go and speak with the Archdiocese himself. But you see the mayor go, all right, I understand what this all is. If you take him to Crusadia, you know, he's out of our jurisdiction. We can't have our own. I understand.
I would love to take him off your hands.
They look at you. The mayor goes, well, here's an idea. What do you have in mind, Reverend?
Just a little repatriation, that's all. Reminding him of what his duties as a man of the cloth are. And, you know, making sure that he understands that his duty is to his people. If he is going to preach the good word of Zilali, I imagine that he should perhaps come up with other ways of rendering his worship that don't include bastardization of a previous religion.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
You see, as the mayor is listening to you, and at this point, you hear Reverend Preacher Harcourt on stage.
The terrible roll. Damn it. Yeah, it's not great. It was a 5.
Okay. Preacher Harcourt now on stage. The good people of Harvenrest with great disdain upon the Death Warden, it appears that Reverend Varkan here has quite the conversion methods. And I would say that, and he kind of gestures to the 7-foot-tall running into the cornucopia individual. Well, if they're going to come in here and speak falsities upon our God and upon our practices, then I think that we should handle that. Reverend Varkan, you see the mayor go, now wait a minute. Hold on a damn minute. As he shouts, we are not going and doing nothing to that Gravehaven down yonder. And as your mayor of this town, we will not see our two wonderful religions come at odds with each other. The Dusk Crest go. They look over at the Reverend and the preacher. And they just stay silent, as they are just there to observe.
My problem is not with you or your practice or your God. Never has been. I do, however, have a problem with the way that you have decided to show your fealty towards them.
You see Preacher Harcourt doesn't even really eye you as he's talking to the congregation. The congregation is, and Wythe, you are kind of standing nearby Sybil, the tiefling that you had the pleasure of interacting with. She looks very sad, very sad. She goes, well, that just ain't right. I mean, Preacher Harcourt can't come in here into this town and do such horrendous things. That's what you overhear, Wythe.
So I assume at this point, because if I'm still in a trance, I can't hear anything that's happening around me. I can't. So the trance only lasts for a minute. So if you want me to, like, Wythe breaks out of the trance right before this person says the thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. If you want to break the trance just for a little bit, or at least come out of it, because at that point, that is all you were able to surmise, is that this cornucopia is on fire.
It's on fire, and I know that there's people inside of it.
Yeah, and you know Izzy's inside.
Right.
And you watch this 7-foot-tall individual, that person that caused that disturbance, run inside.
So when I come out of this trance, the friendship bracelet disappears around Izzy's hand. It is destroyed as soon as it is used. So as she comes out, she's panicking, clear, because there's fire, her friend is inside. She sees someone run in, she hears this person say this thing, she has no idea what they're talking about. All she can do is like look at this person and say, I don't know what you're saying, I don't know what you're doing, I don't care. There's a fire, can you not see the fire?
As Sybil looks, it's like, for a moment, she's a little ways away. You're a couple, like you're about 50-60 feet away from this cornucopia, and the fire is within.
It's inside of it.
It's kind of, yeah, it's inside. And she says,
Okay.
darling, I don't quite know. I mean, it's a little early for Harvest End.
What's Harvest End?
Well, Harvest End is our practice. I mean, that's cornucopia. We craft it all year. We spend our own resources to use our wheat, and we hand weave it for a few months of the year, and then as it's built, and we work on our fields and work on the farms, those go and they're given as offerings to Chilali to give us a bountiful year, and then in Harvest End, we take that food and eat it, and we have a big meal, and it's delicious. Let me tell you about my casserole recipe. But she kind of goes, and then when the feasting's done, we burn it down and we start again for the new year.
You burn it down on purpose?
Yeah, we burn it down on purpose. It's just a way of, nothing ever stays the same in this world, and it's just a good reminder of there's always going to be change. She goes on.
Okay. Finn, can I tell if this fire is magical or non-magical?
Yeah. It is a magical fire.
Damn it. Oh,
it is a magical fire.
Okay. Well, shit.
And as Sybil tells you, it's a little too early for Harvest End. Harvest End is a few weeks off. Reverend Varkan, you hear Reverend Harcourt say, well, I know it's a little early for Harvest End, but since Reverend Varkan here and individuals, it'll be the last time they're going to be in town, we might as well, as the good people of Harvenrest, give them quite a show. And he kind of gestures to the cornucopia.
Preacher Harcourt, may I have a moment of your time? And I would like to cast Moment of Your Time.
Okay. Okay. And as he gestures forward, the flames, that's when a little glow starts.
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw of 16.
Okay. He rolled 14 plus 2, so it is a 16.
All right. Then
you get the sense of he looks over at you. And Wythe, at that moment, you hear Sybil scream, fire. And everyone starts to panic, as this is not at all what their normal custom is. Sabriel and Yeah, Sabriel, as you enter into this cornucopia, going through the gourds, getting into everything, you come across two individuals. And Isidora, you are with M. And she's just crying.
Right.
So have I made my way through?
Yeah, you've made your way through to them.
Okay, so he's gonna look to Isidora. Are you helping these people?
Yes, no, they all need to come down and they all need to come out. I don't know. I can only get so many at once.
How many are there?
It's like 5? How many?
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see?
Yeah. Let me double check one thing.
God, I love
for
this dice.
Sabriel. 'Cause you
21.
might have a special little thing. And I believe you do. So roll with advantage. Oh wait, no, that is a feature that you can do. Never mind.
Yeah, I already roll perception with advantage.
Okay.
So it's a nat 19 on the dice. I love this dice tonight.
Wow.
So that's a 21 for perception.
So now that you are in this space, you sense these two individuals, one just crying and sad. A familiar sense to you. And you sense about 4, 5 more individuals in here. With your trimmer sense, they're not they're not on the ground, but you can kind of feel, like, kind of sense up around the cornucopia of these, like, 4 to 5 individuals.
I mean, I'm guessing that I'm too tall for this thing.
No, it's 12 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
It's massive. You fit in this.
All right. So, knowing this and seeing Isidora getting the girl out, it's like, get her to safety. I'm gonna and help more if you can. And he's just literally gonna start tearing at the walls to try and pull the people down, because I don't know if he could reach. Can you reach the people on the ceiling?
Yeah. You're 7 feet. You could reach them. Yes.
Okay. So he's gonna start tearing at it to try and grab these people and pull them out.
Okay.
And as he does, he's going to set them on the ground so he can have free range to grab, to continue tearing at the others.
Okay. Sabriel, as you are going through and trying to get these other people out of here, Isidora, you are told these instructions by the stranger that you are very interested in the beginning. Reverend Varkan, you are having this conversation with the preacher between the mayor and between the Dusk Crest, and the mayor yells up, and you all can hear this, Wythe and throughout the cornucopia. Now, Lucian, you stop it right now. And he gets on stage and is calming down the crowd. Now, we brought you into this town a few years ago, okay? And our practices were given to you to hold within yourself and be very dear with it. And that is not something I see here today. Reverend Varkan, I want you to make a history check for me.
Do I have advantage on this?
Yes, you would.
$15.
15? Okay. You do know that Preacher Harcourt has only been the preacher here for about 20-ish years. This cornucopia was here before he was here. But the practices within Chrysadia have always been the Dusk Walker. You understand that the mayor is calming the crowd down, whereas Preacher Harcourt is revving half of them up. And the Dusk Crest are watching it happen. Wythe, as you're communicating with Sybil, she screams fire, and the panic ensues of screaming throughout.
The only thing that Wythe can do is she sees the two sides. She sees the mayor and she sees the reverend, and she sees the preacher. Knowing that seeing so far that the mayor and the preacher have the most sway, all Wythe can do is just point to the mayor and send him a message.
Okay.
He can message back.
Okay.
I just have to be able to see him.
Yeah, you see him.
Okay. So Wythe sends him a message, trying to get as much information as she can through. She says, "There's people in the cornucopia, and he's burning the evidence." And that's all she says.
Okay. You get something back.
Okay.
It's quick, and not very, like, thought out. Ugh. Good to know. Who is this?
Go. Oh man. Why just kind of like buries her face in her hands because she hates talking to new people.
And Isidora, are you running out of this cornucopia with this individual, or are you staying behind?
I think I'm issuing people to the front.
Okay.
But as Sabriel is like freeing people, I'm making sure that they're getting past, but I'm also going to cast guidance on them. Actually, it's cantrip. I'll cast guidance on literally everyone I touch, especially him.
Cool. Are you at the front of the cornucopia, or are you still within?
I'm still within, but I'm like splitting the difference between, I think, where he is in the front.
Okay. All right.
So.
Whistler.
Hello.
It's probably about, let me see my timekeeping clock here. I believe it would be 11 p.m. our time, 11:30 our time. And you, as you close the door behind you, you hear large group of people about north of you, as you've come into this back entrance of this little wooden building with like a straw roof. And closing the door behind you of this back entrance, you kind of move along, and you hear,
"How is it?" warning you.
You won't like what you see.
Dusk Crest! And you see this elder Kinku woman with like a cane coming in, tries to hit you with a with that. That is a 9 on the die, so 10.
So I see it happen, and I move out of the way, and I go, Rin. I take it you're Rin, right?
Who's asking? What are you doing sneaking around here?
We've literally been communicating for months. Are you serious?
Oh, well, I forget.
Whisper.
Oh yeah. All right. Anyway, well, I wouldn't go out there.
And at this point, you hear shouting and like screaming outside of this.
Yeah, it's church service.
Is this a normal thing? Yeah.
Well, it depends. They probably have some druids if they're all worked up this way. So we gotta be careful.
Right. All right. I have 2 friends of mine in town right now, I believe.
It's nice to have those. What's that like?
We literally write letters back and forth for months. If you need a friend, just say hello. Anyway,
hello?
They both wear masks. They don't like people to see their faces. Have you seen 7-foot tall, kind of intimidating, other very religious?
Well, everyone down here is 7 feet tall to me.
I know, it's crazy looking up all the time, right? By the way, this is because the audience hasn't met Whistler before.
Yes,
out of the shadows.
Yeah, describe as you enter. What
this
you look
deep
like.
voice, you hear it from the shadows, and then you see just a little bird foot step out as this very tiny Kinku wearing a nice fancy little hat, black outfit, and it's black, but it also has tinges of crimson on it. And in the light, you see he wears a couple of daggers on his belt and on his arm. But there's one on his belt that sort of shines in the light with a red gem on it.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's just not for you. And he sort of pulls it back a little bit. He's like, we may be friends. Maybe. But this is mine. Anyway, have you seen any of my friends?
The only non-faced person I know is Reverend Varkan.
Yes.
Oh, what a small world. Reverend Varkan came in here a few hours ago.
Okay.
Kind of, she kind of gets it anyway. I usually do my dealing during church because no one's out. I'm this way.
And she just kind of like looking forward. And you're in the back room of this little hut situation, where it's some potatoes, some wooden crates that are crowbarred open. Everything else, it just looks like a run-of-the-mill trading goods shop. As you've entered into Rin's shop.
Do you have what I'm looking for? Can I do a perception check to see?
Yeah. And she's gonna make a history check. Okay.
All right. Perception. 20, dirty 20.
Yes.
As you're kind of like looking around and doing some investigating, nothing stands out to you right away, but you've been running this drop, I should say, for a couple months, and you're aware that within these burlap sacks that are tied with this twine, that look very easily, I should say, very normal. Nothing that looks too too on the nose for what you are getting.
All right.
She comes through and kind of like leans up next to you.
You going through my goods, sonny boy?
You know why I'm here. Don't act like you don't. You
Yeah.
still want the money, and I give her whatever coins we've
Okay.
agreed on before.
So as you make this switch, the coins fall in your hands. And pull it up real quick. They're very normal to the region. These are umbers. So the coin, kind of the coin system within the Umbrian Reach are through what is known as umbers. And they are blackened with gold, silver, or copper sheens. So it's black gold or black copper or black silver. And they're all the higher the number, and you would know this, Whistler, as you deal in a lot of currency. The Umbrian Reach has their currency system where the smaller the coins, the richer you are, is the saying in the Umbrian Reach. For their gold is about this size, and their copper is about this size. And she hands over a little, like a big, like sack that you can open up. And within is some sage.
Ooh.
Yeah, some sage, some medicinal herbs, bandages, and like clean water and like thread and like surgery needles.
You for a second.
Yeah.
Whistler looks to his left, and if anybody was watching this interaction, they don't see anyone, but he sort of looks over, and a tall, like sort of human looking male sort of just looks down at him and gives him a head nod that it's the right thing. And he goes, "You've outdone yourself this time, Ren. This is great."
Well, the Dusk Crest are getting pretty crazy out there these days. But the umbers should serve you well. But any other currency, won't be accepted within the Umbrian Reach. So if you're traveling, here's a free tip for you.
Oh.
And you see in the gold that you handed her, or she's like looking at it. She's like chewing on her like beak. And in the gold,
It's about this size, and it has like the banners of the Umbrian Reach with the words, "Alone we shall stand, alone we shall prosper." And that is the the motto of the Umbrian Reach. She pockets the money. All right, well.
Was Reverend Varkan outside?
Oh yes, I think they said they were going to church. They had a bit of an evening with
And that's
the
where all
preacher.
the screaming is coming from. Yes.
Oh yes, well, it happens. But when she gets close, but there's any Dusk Crest out there. Don't let them find you.
Oh, they won't see me coming. And he sort of takes the swoop of his feather, which is like covering over his eye very dramatically, and gives it like just sort of a brush. And he goes, "All right, I need to find my friends. I'll write you shortly."
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Be careful with the writing. They could
Mm.
trace it. But just take care of the people. You're doing good work.
We try.
She slinks into the shadows.
I love Red. I'm going outside towards the thing, but I want to do it stealthily.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
Nice. What is my stealth? Ooh.
And as you are making a stealth check, also make a perception check as well.
25 for the stealth, and then 17 for the, oh wait, not 17. 19 for the perception.
Okay. As you are as you are kind of making your way out of this, Ren's feathers catch yours, and there's like a passing of something, and then she fades away as you fades away back into the shadows. As you make your way out, you look in your feathers, and it is some sort of herb. You're not sure what it is, but if Ren is giving you free herbs, they'll probably help.
Right.
That's kind of what Whistler thinks.
Yeah.
Take this.
I mean, we're sitting here, clandestinely doing trades and stuff. So
Yeah. As you're kind of stealthily making your way, it's very easy for you, being as the height that you are, as everyone else is kind of like really like they're screaming. Some people have like left. So the crowd isn't as loud as they were a few minutes ago. With your perception check, you see, as you're making your way on the outskirts of this group, Reverend Varkan is kind of at the base of a stage with an individual who is shouting. Two individuals on stage are shouting, and Reverend Varkan is like facing them. And then you have two Dusk Crest that are standing right next to them. And that is where we are going to take our break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, and grab water, don't die.
can't promise that.
And welcome back. So, Whistler, as you are making your way around this crowd, it's lessened with everyone kind of in a hurry to get away from the center of this town. You do see some glowing embers from within this massive 12-foot tall cornucopia that is hand woven, that sits in the middle of this town, kind of peeping through the crowd and looking underneath feet and stuff. You can see the vegetables that kind of sprawl out of this cornucopia. And you see Reverend Varkan, who is having a bit of a conversation with two individuals on stage. One individual is well-dressed, black rim hat, drow, who is yelling to the crowd a bit of not great things about Reverend Varkan that you hear, or about Gravehaven. The other individual, however, is trying to calm down the crowd, and you hear I think what needs to be done now is y'all go home and we'll discuss this at next early night. Because what I'm seeing here today is not what this town that my grandfather before me built from his own blood, sweat, tears. And you see this other individual, the drow, look over as well. That about says what it does, I suppose. If the mayor here wishes to end this service early, then by all means, fine. And you see this individual kind of storm off stage, and he says, shouting, "Eventides be upon you." And almost the entire congregation at the same says, "And onto you." And that's kind of where this town starts to disappear. But there's still kind of massive chaos that the mayor is having to handle. And he is watching this massive cornucopia engulf in flames a bit from underneath. And
so what I can gather, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there was some kind of church event. People are dispersing. It's sort of like something odd has gone on here. Reverend Varkan is still talking pretty intently with someone on stage, and tall friend Sabriel is not here.
No.
Right. And the cornucopia is on fire.
Yes.
So, which doesn't sound like it was supposed to happen now.
Make a religion check.
Okay. I didn't realize how low my religion score was. I was like, oh, maybe a 13 it will be good. Nope, that makes it a 14.
You know that through the archdiocese, the practice of Chilali is kind of the religion throughout the region.
Mhm.
They must have different practices here. You kind of sense it is just might be, and nothing else is on fire. It's
Right.
only this cornucopia. So it just might be the service.
I
is
think
kind of
what was cluing me into it being sort of
Mhm.
off, though, was that they were meeting again, that this isn't what was supposed to happen, as the
Yeah.
person on stage said. So, like, maybe it got set off on accident, or like this is him trying to
Yeah.
understand
You get the sense that something happened, something was wrong, but you're not sure if this was just a religious practice or not.
Okay. Well, I would sort of walk on over to the Reverend, and I'd sort of just stand there for a minute, trying to be seen. Probably they both don't see me, and so then just a little sort of bump against the leg, as I want to do when people aren't paying attention to me. Oh, so sorry, Reverend. I see you are in a conversation, but where's Sabriel?
Never mind that. Uh, is anyone paying attention to either of us right now?
Make a perception check. I will say the Dusk Crest are right there.
Jesus Christ, natural one.
Okay.
Then I guess Rev and Varkan kind of kneels down so that they're closer to Whistler, Whistler's height, and like as without knowing one way or the other how closely they're being paid attention to, they kind of lean over to the side and get as close to Whistler as they can. Back behind us, in the alcove of the church, you'll find some people that need help getting the hell out of here.
If it pleases. And I'm going to try to stealth out of this scene.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
That was 6. That's a dirty 20. Wait. No, it's more. It's 22.
Okay. Yeah. So Whistler, as you go into up around in the direction that Reverend Varkan has sent you, Reverend Varkan, the mayor steps off the stage, and he's looking at this cornucopia in flames. And he says to himself, well, I don't know what I'm going to do harvesting this come around. It's too late to start over. I mean, I suppose in the morning I can probably make some sort of announcement that harvesting won't be that joyful this year. But thank you, Reverend Varkan, for coming to aid. And the Dusk Crest are still kind of watching. One of the Dusk Crest, you did see, they did leave with and keep eyes on the preacher, as they were instructed. The mayor goes, well, I'm sorry for all this. I truly am. And I'm real disappointed in my preacher today.
I think what's more important is that you and your people are given time to perhaps reassess the way you observe this holiday.
Well, I mean, make a persuasion check.
All of my dice went cold during the break, I swear to God. It's just a 9.
Yeah. You know, I think I might just do just that. You know, it's difficult. I mean, I've been raised in the Archdiocese my whole life, and my grandpappy, instilled these beliefs into us. But I think if what we need is Chilali today, then I think making some adjustments is what's needed. And he kind of looks over to the preacher Harcourt and he says, well, I do believe in the Archdiocese. I do believe in Crusadia. He kind of leans over. But between the two of us, I don't rightly trust the justice will be served if he makes his way into Crusadia.
The offer to take him off your hands still stands.
Well, as mayor of this town, it's my duty and my people. It's my own fault. That I will deal with my preacher in my own town.
I truly hope this is a case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand was doing.
Well, I understand that druids are illegal in Crusadia. My family came from the Winawan swamplands. So my heritage is to the lands. And I don't rightly care for certain regiments that have been instilled by Crusadia. But as a mayor, I do have to follow the law. However, what he did commit a crime. If it's true that he did not bring those druids to Crusadia and he kept them here, then he will stand trial for that.
I will be swinging through again. Despite what your preacher has said, you will see me.
Well, I hope
it is my duty and my job to make regular visits.
I understand. Well, it's always a pleasure to see you, Reverend.
I do hope that you will deal with him fairly and wisely.
I'll try my best.
And it might do you good to review the vetting process that the Archdiocese uses breaches. You know what they say about one bad apple.
I do. And I hope that he didn't rotten too many of my good folk here. Izzy, Sabriel. Sabriel, as you are clawing into these, into the cornucopia to get these individuals out, you get a few. You get at this point one free, and this individual slumps and falls just into your arms, lifeless.
They're dead.
Yeah. And they have been for a while.
Can I tell if any of the others that are trapped are dead?
As you are going through, and I would assume you have this body on you. You see.
Seeing that he's dead, he's going to set the body on the ground.
Okay.
And then he's realizing what's going on. He's first going to check the other bodies to see if they're breathing, see if the wicker is straining back and forth from their breath.
You see within the cornucopia 5 dead bodies that have been there for a few days.
If Isidora is looking at Sabriel, you see his fists clench, and you can literally hear the armored gloves scraping against each other, and like you can almost hear metal bending a little bit as his arm starts to shake. And he grabs his lantern staff, and I'm going to cast Soul Scythe.
Okay.
And so Soul Scythe, this massive scythe appears out of the side of the lantern, made up of green flames. And if you look closely enough into the flames, you see souls within the green flame. And he's going to slash through the side of the cornucopia, and then stamp the staff in the ground and pry it open. To create a quicker path for everybody to get out.
Okay.
For Isidora and for the person they have. And then he's is the fire raging at this point? Like it's starting to get bad?
Yeah.
So he's gonna continue, and he's going to pull like throw one of the bodies through the hole, and then he's gonna go and grab the next person and throw them out too. And he's gonna make sure that they all get out.
Okay.
It kind of ignoring any damage that he would take.
Okay.
I mean, not physically ignoring DM. I mean, mentally ignoring.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be that guy.
Izzy, as you have M with you, you watch as this green scythe in the darkness slashes, and you see that there's a passageway out of the cornucopia now, and the fire of the embers, since you do not have dark vision, with the embers you can see now in here that 5 dead bodies that were kind of ripped from their placements. This individual, a 7-foot-tall individual, has brought all of these bodies out.
I turn to M and say, do you have a way? Do you know what to do from here? Do I need to get you all the way out? Or can you make it on your own?
She kind of, her hands, I should be fine running.
Okay, good. You go as far as you possibly can to whatever is well away from here. And
Where's my sister?
We will get to that.
Would I hear the sister?
Yeah.
Okay. So while carrying the bodies, he's going to look back. Your sister is safe. I'll take you to her, or bring her to you. But first I need to take care of something.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. The DM got chills. Whoa.
Unfortunately, that's only a 9. But DM chills advantage?
I'll give you advantage. I got
yeah.
chills. Yeah, I'll give you advantage. That was pretty good.
Okay, so that's a 19 now.
Okay.
Oh wait, persuasion. Never mind. That's not a 19. That's a 21.
Okay. She says, she looks over at you. Okay, I'll follow you.
And when she says follow, he's like, do not follow me into that town. It is not safe for a druid. Hide, and I will find you. And then he's going to try and pick up all of the bodies in his arms. If he possibly can, or try and carry 2 in each.
I will say that Sabriel can do that. You're 7 foot tall, you're 300 pounds, and you're very strong. Yeah, you can carry all 5 of them out.
Okay. And with all 5 bodies, he's going to look back at Isidora. He's like, I know not who you are, but I thank you for saving her.
Of course. I guess we'll get to that too. If you're leading her to her sister, I think we're thinking the same thing for the unfinished business.
So he like smiles. He's like, I certainly hope so. What is your name?
You can call me Izzy. But if you need some more covert ways of handling things, you let me know.
And he like turns forward and pauses for a moment. He's like, my way will not be covert.
Well, you like it, I love it.
And then he's going to start marching with powerful steps as he takes all 5 of these bodies toward the pastor. Or the preacher.
Preacher. Okay. Izzy, where would you like to go?
I think I will start heading towards, because I think I've heard it now that there are druids in the basement.
Yes.
So I will start heading that way.
Okay.
Cool. With them.
Okay. Wythe, you see emerging out, because I believe your invisibility has ended.
It should.
Wythe, you see emerging Izzy and an individual who looks a little malnourished, kind of an essence of ratty hair come out of this cornucopia. And Reverend Varkan, you see on the other side of that cornucopia, Sabriel bringing 5 bodies out of this blazing embers. And Whistler, you see, as you're heading in the direction of the kind of side glance of where Reverend Varkan sensed where to go, you see a Dusk Crest guard with the individual who's on stage, heading in the same direction.
All right. They haven't noticed me yet, right?
No.
And they're heading in that direction?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to trail them.
Okay.
So I want to sneak in and I want to hear what they're talking about. I mean, I'm going to break in and save some people, but I want to know what they're saying. I'm an information gatherer, you guys. That's my thing.
So Whistler, as you're kind of trailing behind, you hear Preacher Harcourt go, well, I understand that under the Archdiocese that I have rights. I preach to Bali, and I'm protected. and you see the Dusk Crest go. That is not my decision to make. That is the Archbishop's.
Can
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you because you're in the middle of a thing. But Sabriel wants to, if he hears that, wants to yell out, "No, it is mine."
Make a perception check because he has walked away. So as you've emerged out of the cornucopia, he is not in the crowd anymore.
Sabriel is going right to him with the bodies.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll roll.
This is also with Reverend Varkan, Isidora, Wythe. Since you are no longer in the time constraint of the cornucopia, we're officially out of initiative because we were kind of like going back and forth to see if there was a way to like put it out and how much time. You all are free to interject now.
Oh, that's an 18 on perception, by the way.
Okay.
So Sabriel is about to mess this up. I'm going to sneak in.
Okay.
I mean, as at the moment, Rev Varkan senses Sabriel exiting the cornucopia with, a bunch of bodies in his arms. Yeah. They're also headed right for the preacher. Mm-hmm. The mayor be damned.
Yeah. And Whistler, we'll start with you. You hear this conversation happening between the Dusk Crest and Preacher Harcourt. Unfortunately, we will have to investigate. Now, that is a decision as the mayor is the proxy between the archdiocese. That if his word is to have your trial here, then there is no use for us to bring you to Chrysadia. And you see Preacher Harcourt say, Greenwick. Shitbag. The Dusk Crest just kind of give him a look. As they're just continuing to trail him. Reverend Varkan, instantly take notice of Sabriel coming out of this cornucopia with these bodies, as do the other Dusk Crest guard, as does the mayor. And you see for the first time the Dusk Crest guard starts walking faster than you to get to Sabriel.
All right, I guess it's about to go down, y'all.
Yeah.
Start blowing those air horns because here we go. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I want to do? Holy shit, y'all. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness on the preacher.
Shit. What is the range?
60 feet.
Yeah. That would be within there.
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and cast it at at second level.
And describe what it looks like as you cast this spell.
Sure. I have to roll to hit first. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, are you serious? It's a 12.
Okay.
I don't know if that hits.
That hits. Yes.
Great. Cool. Wonderful. So, you see the Reverend Varkan lift their sensor, and on their sensor is affixed a mirror, and the mirror flashes green, and the smoke from the sensor starts to waft forward and swirl and then shoot out in this sort of tendril of smoke that wraps around the preacher and then like shoots up his nostrils, like he forcibly inhales it, and it deals 14 necrotic. Sorry,
Okay.
14 poison. 14
Okay.
poison damage. And then they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
If they're still alive.
Yep. Okay. What is the con save?
16.
Yeah, he makes the con save.
Okay, then he's not poisoned.
Okay, good. Because you, Whistler, you take notice as Creature Harcourt, as he's talking mid-sentence with this Dusk Crest. And falls. And the Dusk Crest just panics a bit, composes, and lays a hand on the preacher and casts some sort of spell. And the preacher Harcourt is still kind of unconscious. Actually, they're gonna make a medicine check first. Okay, yeah. You watch as preacher Harcourt falls. Dusk Crest casts a spell, and then there's breath again as preacher Harcourt looks around. You see that happen.
Okay. Did I see any of that fume that he had?
Yeah,
smelled?
you would take notice of like this,
and
it like
I
trailed
probably
over.
have seen Reverend Varkan use it in the past. Have I?
Yeah, you would know.
Okay. If that's the case, then I know that this was an attempt to stop them before they got inside. I need to get in there faster now to get these people out. So that's where I'm gonna go, is to sneak into that building.
Okay. Sabriel, you watch from where you were overhead, Reverend Varkan streams from their sensor, and you watch the preacher fall. And then the Dusk Crest come in and bring him up. The other Dusk Crest has met with you now. And you see behind him the mayor kind of coming up. You see this Dusk Crest individual looks at you and looks at the bodies. What is your business with these?
These are 5 bodies woven into the cornucopia by the preacher. 5 murders, all druids, who he did not turn into you. By any laws, the punishment for this is death.
Make a persuasion check.
Dice.
Yeah.
14.
14, okay.
Death Warden is calling this bitch home.
What languages do you speak?
Celestial, Common, and Raven.
Robin, okay. You do not understand what he says to you. Reverend Varkan, I assume you are kind of in the middle on your way to Sabriel. You do hear this. In Chital Vale, you hear May moons be upon thee. May her nights be blessed. This is some sort of prayer. And they have kind of reached for their sickle, but haven't drawn it. Unfortunately, under Crusadean rule, the bodies are the archdiocese. You must see them over.
So Sabriel's gonna lean over slowly with the creaking of his armor. If you try to stop me from burying them, I will gladly walk the land for an eternity with your soul in tow. And he takes off his mask to reveal his burned out eyes.
Oh, shit.
So that you never find peace.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay, so that's a 16 on the dice, so that is a 23.
Reverend Varkan, make a history check with advantage.
Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. All my dice have betrayed me so far. Let's see how we do. Ooh, it didn't get any better. History, you said? That's a 12.
A 12. Okay. As you
I need y'all to wake up. Wake up, okay? Wake up.
As you've spent most of your time in the Archdiocese of Crusadia, there are reasons why this town does not have a graveyard. It's odd to you. You don't fully understand it. But within Crusadia, the city, there are no graveyards. Anyone who is to die within Crusadia, and this is now starting to spread throughout the Archdiocese, so that does include Harvenrest now, they must seize their bodies over to the Archdiocese. They do not bury the dead. Their bodies are under Crusadian rule. The Dusk Crest looks to Sabriel and has put their hand fully on their sickle, shaking a little bit. Unfortunately, under Crusadian rule, and on my honor, I will need those bodies. Sabriel, make a insight check.
Insight, that is 15.
15, okay. The power that you weld over this person right now is intimidating to this individual. But you understand the sense of what it means to be true to your oaths and be true to your word. And this individual has oaths to Crusadia that they cannot persuade, in a sense, out of them very easily. You get the sense that the individual before you will probably draw a weapon, and they know that they probably won't make it out of the fight, but they're gonna try. and Reverend Varkan, you have gotten to them now. As is the mayor is here. Wythe, Isidora. Wythe, you feel some drip, 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 drip. As you look above you, that storm that was coming is here. And it begins to pour, and thunder begins to roll.
At this point, as soon as Wythe saw Isidora, she runs over to Isidora to find out what the hell is going on. And immediately when she runs up to them, she immediately inquires if they're all right.
I'm fine. There's druids in the basement, and there's a bunch of druids in the center of the cornucopia. They were using it like some sort of battery. She's recounting everything that she's witnessed. Full speed. She's kind of freaking out. We need to go get them. I don't know how long they've been down there, but one of them, this is M, and they have a sister down there that we need to go get, and we also need to make sure that this preacher does not see the sun. But that's an after. You know what I mean?
Okay. Can I see Rev Varkan and Sabriel from where I am?
Yeah, you can. You cannot miss Sabriel. But in front of you kind of see this like glimmering gold of this mask that is catching the light.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In that case, okay. Izzy, it looks like those people over there have that covered. If we need to go get people, let's go get people. And then she looks at the person that is clearly very malnourished and gives them a ration from their pouch to eat on their way.
Eats it. You both hear, as you've come back closer to the tavern area where you kind of met before, you both hear under like the crowds kind of disappearing, you just see this like cornucopia ember in fire burning, and the rain is coming in, dripping all over. You see or you hear semi close next to you as the horses that you had tied up are there.
Yay. Horses.
Yeah. To kind of have you all see your horses, and they are Necrawl horses. So they look a little different from our horses. But they're, if you see on the map, they're at the bottom of those two circles down here. They have black, grayish fur with red eyes, kind of like roanish, and you see in certain places some of the flesh is gone.
Naturally.
Yeah,
of course.
And they are being rained on. And they're not happy about it.
Oh. Okay. How close are we to the church area?
You're probably about 70 to 80 feet from the church. You're on the other side of town.
Okay. Yeah. Is it possible to ride our horses to get there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, if you want to grab your horses and start trotting over there, absolutely.
Yep, that's exactly what I want to do. What did you name your horse?
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Do you know?
On the spot, you have to name your horse right now. This will be the horse's name for the rest of the showdown.
Honestly, I think it'd be like, it's corny And I'm sorry I said the word corny because the horse's name is Coney. Because it's short for aconite.
Oh, that's cool. I like aconite, Coney.
Which
That's
is
fun.
Wolfsbane.
That's really cute. I named my Daisy.
Daisy and Coney, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. So as you, if you want to unhitch your horses, you get onto them. Im takes to getting on Izzy's horse with you, and you trot along over, passing Sybil, and on the way, Sybil says, "Well, I'm dreadfully sorry that this happened. I hope we didn't scare you off too bad. But maybe next time, during our pageant season, watch me win another one of our ribbons. There's pie," and she kind of goes off as you kind of trail. That's what this individual's mind is at right now.
Jesus, please.
Can I, before we head off, behind, if Isidora is leading, Wythe is gonna stare this person down their eyes and try and intimidate them into shutting up.
Okay, roll an intimidation. You don't even have to roll. Never mind. No,
okay.
Yeah. No, yes. Knowing you don't even have to roll an intimidation on this individual. So you see Wythe is there with your horse Daisy as you start to trot along, and you just whip this sinister stare with your like black claws, and your like kind of your teeth come out a little bit, and Sybil shuts right up. She says, "Well," goes away, and you start to trot along towards the church that Im has kind of told you where it is. Whistler, and you now are watching this kind of interaction briefly as you're passing through, and you have made your way to the back side of this church. There's doors that are that open, like panel doors on the side. What would you like to do?
Try the door / unlock it if it's locked. It's probably locked.
It is unlocked.
Oh.
As you open it, you hear as it's darkness down there. Do you have dark vision?
I believe so, but let me give a second to double check. I have. I don't see it, so maybe I don't. I thought they had it. Oh wait, no, racial traits. I was looking at that. No, I don't see it, so let's say no.
Okay. As you go down here, there's like some steps into this like cavern type area as it goes down. You hear a quickened voice. Shh.
What did you say?
Shh. Like someone shushed. Shh.
All right. I try to hear where that's coming from. Like I try to pinpoint.
Yeah, so it's directly kind of like under the stairs, like down at the bottom as you descend down.
Okay. I quietly continue.
Okay.
I'm about to get murked, aren't I?
As you quietly continue, make a perception check with advantage, since you are an investigator and a rogue.
Investigating rogue. That is literally my background.
He's
Birdman.
Birdman.
Ooh. I'm glad for that. 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are quite familiar in the ways of hiding. And you see 4 individuals that are kind of hiding off into the shadows side.
All right. I guess being told that there were people in here who but like the door wasn't locked, so why are they still here? I'm so confused what's happening with these people.
Yes. So
They were told to wait.
Oh,
yes.
okay. They were told.
Sabriel told them to wait here.
Got it. So
and Sabriel would return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was told some people needed help down here. Would that be you?
Who are you?
And you hear another individual. Shut up.
I go, no, you can trust me. You can.
And he's trying to be kind.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah, he's trying to talk because he takes it that is whoever that was is young and probably shouldn't have spoken up.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a young individual.
All right. You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go persuasion. That is a 17.
Yeah. Are you with the tall individual?
Yes, and the tall carries
Lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
You see stepping out of the shadows, a young 17-year-old drow girl, still like malnourished, wears like an old dress, like rags. She comes through and looks sad, very sad. He didn't make it.
Who?
Lantern wielder. That's why he sent you.
No, it would take a lot more than that to stop Sabriel.
Sabriel. You see now a half orc coming out, older, large tusk, and a tiefling with kind of a soft green sheen with horns, and then a drow male who the only thing, as you see, that kind of gleams is like a leaf cuff on their ear. It's the only thing that they really have of note. You hear the half orc, well, let's get us out of here.
On me. I'll scout ahead.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm the most worried about is someone else trying to like come in through that back door while we're trying to get them out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you would know, as you've made kind of the map for the caverns. Your map is outdated and still needs reworking, something you've been working on for months. The underground system that you have kind of learned of within Chrysadia is that you've only gotten as far as Harvenrest, which is only probably about an 8-hour journey from Gravehaven. but being underground takes about 2 to 3 days, or 2 to 3 nights, as everything is nights. 2 to 3 nights from where you are currently back to Gravehaven. So you can make the decision. Are you bringing these people? First of all, where are you going to take these people? That's the first thing that I will ask.
If I have a path that they can travel, that they wouldn't be caught, that is what I'm going to do. And so that sounds like the underground path. But I would need to let Reverend Varkan know before I did that. Yeah.
Izzy, Wythe, you made it to the church. You hitched up. Are you hitching up the horses? Or are you kind of letting them roam?
I feel like I can just tell them to be cool.
Yeah, you could.
We've bonded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tell them to be cool. Because we're in a rush, but at the same time, do we see the people from the basement at all? Like,
no, you don't see them at all. They haven't resurfaced. You are aware. Im lets you know directly. Actually, Im's gonna make a history check. I don't know if Im knows Im. Okay. I know that he descends downstairs. I'm not sure what part of the church it is. It could be inside. But whenever he opens the door, there's usually, I don't know, it's different. I can feel it in the wind and the earth. So I would assume it's from outside.
all right.
Can I make an investigation roll to see,
Yeah, go ahead.
Great.
Yeah. And with advantage, with Im kind of helping you as well.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. How does a 16 do?
Okay. As Im and Izzy are kind of conversing, Im starts to notice you're looking around. Kind of leaves with Izzy off towards you, and you're looking around kind of the outer area, I would assume, of this church. And you see Whistler, did you close the door behind you?
Whistler would have, but Randy did not say that. So let's say in this time, trying to be fast, that no, it did not happen.
Okay. You see opened is this hatch door that is on the side of the back end of the church.
But
if
the door was open, can I roll a perception to see if I heard horses?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. You guys, I don't know who you are, so that's a dirty 20. So I hear horses, and I put up my wing to the people following me. I tell them to stay where they are, and I pull a dagger from my belt, and I go up towards the door.
No.
We don't know. We don't know.
Gank me.
So Wythe and Izzy, as you are coming around to this church, you see this dark descending stairwell.
This is the only way to go. I don't have anything that would be particularly helpful and subtle. And so I will just cast guidance on everyone there again.
Okay.
Love this.
Go ahead, Wythe.
Do I have anything? I have dark vision, so I can
Oh,
see.
that's great. Yeah, that'll be very helpful.
Lead the way, yeah.
You can see deeper down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. Do you have dark vision, Izzy?
Not physically.
Okay. I'll just light a torch for you, or like a light. Do we have
Okay.
lanterns or
We have
torches?
lanterns.
We have lanterns.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will light a lantern for you. For
So
you.
now lights are coming down into the basement.
Yes.
Yes.
Lights, horses, footsteps.
Great.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
We didn't think this far.
as Wythe and Izzy, as you descend down, Reverend Varkan and Sabriel, you are conversing with this Dusk Crest individual.
So, hearing what the guard said, Sabriel slowly puts his mask back on and then kneels before the guard. And he gives Reverend Varkan a glance and just a small nod. My friend, I understand the need to keep your honor. You are part of an order and you follow those orders. And he's going to slowly clink his staff to open up the thing and show the spirits again. But it matters not what you were in life. And the ghosts kind of come forward. Now, question.
Yeah.
Is there anyone following me that would have been a potentially ancestor or related to this guy?
No.
Okay.
Only because this individual has mostly been in Crusadia for most of their lives.
Okay.
And you don't frequent Crusadia very often, so no. And
Understood.
they have no... When someone dies in Crusadia, their body needs to be reported immediately for the crest to come in and take that body.
Got it. And he's going to look at this guy and just be like, in death, we are not drow, orcs, celestial, druids. In death, we are all the same. Look at these poor people. Do they not deserve peace in death? I beseech you, please allow me to give them the burial rites to let their souls finally rest.
Reverend Varkan, you are here now.
I understand that the Archdiocese of Crusadia functions under different rules than other places in Malanthrane. I do not wish to deprive you of your customs or your culture. But what happened to these bodies, regardless of what happens to them after we have left this place, the preacher has crossed lines that are unforgivable, regardless, and he must be brought to justice.
And like as Reverend Varkan is saying that, you just hear his Sabriel's grip tighten, and he slowly like turns his head toward the preacher.
Reverend Varkan kind of fixes Sabriel with their gaze. We will do as you ask.
They're both like this, but there's...
Yeah. We will do as you ask and give you the bodies. And like,
You see Sabriel grind his teeth.
yeah. Yeah.
You hear the mayor is here now.
Yeah.
I see he's been standing listening to this.
All we ask for is in exchange is that we be allowed to deal with the preacher.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, my dice.
If Sabriel could glare at Reverend Varkan, that's what he's doing.
I know. I'm sorry, buddy.
No. Yo, you're good. This is great.
Yeah.
As a player, I'm freaking
Compromises
loving
have
this.
to be made.
Yeah. As a player,
Yeah.
Sabriel is loving this.
Yeah.
Persuasion, you said?
Or as a player, I'm loving this. Sabriel's not loving this.
17?
Okay. Okay. You hear the mayor speak up. This ain't right. What transpired here? I think, well, he looks towards the Dusk Crest guard. If it's true what they're saying, and Preacher Harcourt has druids here, under the nose of the Dusk Crest, I would be shit scared to go back to the Archbishop, say that there were druids within a day's ride of the great city of Chrysadia. And you see the Dusk Crest. There's a sudden realization. I would say, between us, I'll deal with my preacher, and you allow Reverend Varkan and this intimidating figure to take these bodies and enact their rites. He's gonna roll persuasion.
Now that's a deal I like even better.
The Dusk Crest looks over between the mayor of the town, Reverend Varkan, and Sabriel. Very well. The Archdiocese will allow this, as you hear, like, everything kind of coming to this realization of a decision that he's had to make, that they haven't had to make. The mayor looks over to Reverend Varkan and Sabriel.
We thank you for your advocacy, and we will leave the preacher to you. You will be far more merciful to him than we would have been.
I understand.
Sabriel is going to look to the guard, and still kneeling. Worry not, my friend. Your honor is intact. And he's going to close the lantern.
You hear, in a language that you recognize, Reverend Varkan, a blessing upon the souls, actually, surprisingly. And they walk away.
And under their breath, the Reverend Varkan will simply say, "For you are called, each of you in your own time, to step beyond the veil to your final resting place. Mourn not those who have moved on. They are at peace. Wail instead for those cursed to wander this domain in death, for peace is something they shall never know."
Reverend Varkan, Sabriel, you're standing here in the rain, the burning embers of the cornucopia beside you, and the mayor gives a solemn nod. Whistler, you hear the footsteps descending down a bright lantern coming from above. And Wythe, as you're stepping down, that's where we're going to end for this episode of Gravehaven. Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
Right before
That
the
was
stabs.
fun.
Plans for that preacher, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's not long for this plan.
Not at all.
I'll say
He's about
this: he hasn't been praying enough.
Just about to clock out real quick.
Oh,
Be
wow. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for this wonderful cast, for allowing me to go and do this. I'm so grateful for all of you, like, to be able to, like, play in this world and, like, really, like, now we're starting to get into my, like, threads. I'm just so excited. So let's go around the table and introduce yourselves, talk about projects you're coming in with. We're gonna start with Aki.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Aki. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at MixGenie in a Bottle. That's MXGININABOTTLE. This is where you can find me. This is what I'm working on right now. Hopefully very soon you'll also be able to have your own PDF copy of the Osaka supplement of Altered Carbon TTRPG. I'm not entirely sure when that's being published, but I know it's soon-ish. Hopefully there have been some updates, or there will be updates soon. I know it's being worked on. It's now out of my hands. I don't know what's going on, but I'm very excited, and I hope you're excited too. I came up with some bonker stuff, and I hope you enjoy all of it.
Perfect. Randy.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Alvarenga. You can follow me on Twitter at RollerRaja. That's ROLLERRAJA. I actually got that from following Aki and trying to be more inclusive. So there you go. Some of the projects I'm working on right now, obviously this, I'm gonna steal everyone else's thunder about Edge of Legend, because on Wednesday nights, Sidney and Wes and I, we play in another Pathfinder 2E campaign over on Nat 20 Productions official Twitch channel. And it's a super fun game. Come check that out. And then finally, I'll leave you with Harbingers RPG. We're in season 3. We're shooting it right now, getting ready to shoot it. I'm going down to LA in a couple of weeks to go and shoot that. It's gonna be super fun. We're on season 3, and it's hell on earth is the setting.
Very cool.
So super exciting. That's me.
Perfect. Sweet. Sydney.
Hello. My name is Sidney Rubino. You can find me all over the internet at Sidney Rubino. SIDNEYRUBINO. It's my name. When I'm not here, of course, as Randy just mentioned, on Wednesday nights we have Edge of Legend on Nat 20 Productions official on Twitch. It's a very special place in my heart. I love Pathfinder. So if you like Pathfinder and homebrew worlds, and you think that seeing us on your screens more often is a good idea, join Randy, Wes, and I over there. We have some really awesome people that we work with. We're very lucky to have a really awesome team over there too. We just actually finished up our Halloween campaign, so we're getting back to the main.
Which was totally bonkers. I got to guest on it. It was bonkers.
You both did. Actually, all of you did. All of you guested on the show at some point.
It's a good time.
I died so many times.
I didn't die. I just got real fucked up.
It was great. It was a good time. It was really awesome having all of you on the channel. It was awesome. But that's me. Woo woo.
Wes. Our wonderful Wes.
You guys, I know you guys can't see me right now, but Yeah, I've had to change bandages like 5 times during this episode.
You're just a method actor.
Yeah, so method. But this was a freaking blast. I love this. You can find me online at Wes_IRL. I do cosplay and things, and like Randy and Sidney mentioned, I'm also on Edge of Legend on Nat 40 Productions every Wednesday, where I play a very different character. I am the chaos equivalent in this group, but a very different version of the chaos equivalent in Edge of Legend. That guy's just, I would like to fireball everything because I can. This one is a little more, I would say that character is unhinged. My character is hinged. But yeah, this has been a great, I love this episode. I'm so glad I felt up to making it after my surgery this morning.
Thank you so much for being here.
So you guys are all freaking great. I love all of the role play. Finn, this is a fantastic world you're building, and I love playing in it. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Zakia.
Hello, I am Zach Chide. You can find me at Zach the Drac everywhere, ZAKTHEDRAK. You can also find me at Mayday Roleplay or Mayday RP. We have a merch store now. So if you want to get a shirt I made, you get it. It's about the time we fought a big mirror snake in the sky. And casualties? It's a good time. And I think that's it.
Oh, very cool. Wow. Thank you so much for all of you being here. I just love you all so much. Hi everybody. I am Finn Pierson, your dungeon master for Gravehaven and the world builder and the creative director and just all of it. So you can find me all over the internet at Finn R. Pierson. On Fridays, we do Gravehaven on Q time, 7 p.m. every week. VODs of the show are going to be up on Tuesdays on Q times, and also OscuroMythos or Mythos, which is kind of the channel that is being threaded through this series. So you should go follow OscuroMythos on all the social medias. I'll be uploading individual like world building tips, or such things as certain things about the world. That's basically, you're the loading screen on Skyrim, and you get to learn the little pieces of lore in the world. So if you're interested more about how Domino, thank you, yes, Randy, yeah, you got the picture. So DOMÈN-EVARIS, I'm going to be doing some more like homebrew stuff out there. So if you really are interested in the world, I'm going to start rolling out some stuff that you can start implementing in your campaigns. In the future, I'm going to be doing the Whispered Academy with Cynthia Marie and a few other wonderful people. So look out for that. We did it. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone joining us, and catch the VODs on Tuesday to catch up. I think I can also talk about it to where in a few more episodes, we will also be having the show in podcast format. So if you can't watch the show, you can listen to it on commutes. So that'll be rolling out hopefully in a few weeks. So yeah, thank you everyone here. This has been a blast. I love you all so much. Thank you. Bye.